You know the thing about people where you have to walk around on glass, guys, just here's a piece of life advice, okay? If you have any friends where you have to constantly feel as though you have to walk around on glass shards around, just do yourself a favor and stop being their friend, okay? Because no friend should make you feel like that as well, all right? In my opinion, all right, it is part of an abusive friend relationship if you feel as though you have to constantly walk on glass shards around them, okay? On these people like Tectone and Asmongold, especially when you're so active in politics, it is unreasonable to ask for Destiny to like constantly cater to these people as if like they are like the most precious, beloved people, and then act differently when you're not talking to them. Okay, you shouldn't be feeling as though you're walking around glass shards when you're talking to people who are supposedly good acquaintances, okay? Sooner or later, these people wouldn't be your friends anyway, or they're there, or when they get close enough to you, they're gonna backstab you, right? I could totally see a reality where Tectone and Asmongold is backstabs Destiny once they get close enough, even if he walks on glass shards. Why? Because people who require other people to walk on glass shards around them are the kinds of people who would absolutely backstab you once the time is ripe. Okay? If listen, if Tectone can throw his own father under the bus, he can throw Destiny under the bus. If Destiny if Asmongold if Asmongold no longer no longer supports Ukraine despite raising over $300,000 for Ukraine at some point in time, then he will backstab Destiny, okay? People like this, they have no good principles, okay? They don't stay true to the principles. Do yourself a favor and rid yourselves of these people from your life, okay? You deserve better. You deserve a better group of friends, okay?
Issue is like every example you've had, and obviously this is kind of hard to like, project into the future, but they're all post hoc rationalizations where, well, Destiny got a lot of shit for this tweet, so this was a bad tweet, versus, well, this one really worked because clearly it's working, you still have that relationship.
Right.
And
Is
like
that's
you
not a
praise
post hoc
and
rationalization.
Trump
That's
and
not a
here's
post
the
hoc
thing. Well,
rationalization.
let me
Looking at the
finish. We'll
social
call it something
response
else.
to
Okay,
stuff
look,
isn't a
the
post
point
hoc
is,
rationalization at all.
how much
Okay, we can
energy
change
are we
the
going
movement.
to, yeah, how much energy are we going to spend worrying about which eggshell we're going to step
do the
on for these
runaround.
people that clearly are able to flip flop back and forth on very little things versus spending all of that energy into our own side, informing the policy. If you can praise me for
Who is
calling a
more important to get
congressman,
Right.
a hold
let
of?
me finish, Kyla.
He's
You
right.
interrupt. You
Okay,
didn't let me
fine.
interrupt. All right.
Yeah, go
If
ahead.
if
Go
you can
ahead.
praise me, which I thank you for calling a congressman retarded, and now he's inviting me out to his town halls, and now like there's clearly not a line. You can't define it. I can't define it. Why even
You
fucking worry
didn't
about
call
it? Let's
Rokana
go.
retarded with
I
You
called him a
didn't call
malice.
him
retarded.
retarded at
Whatever. It
all.
doesn't
You
matter.
said
The
when.
point
No,
is,
hold
I'm
on.
being
What the fuck are
edgy
you
in this
talking about?
situation. The point is, I'm being
Wait,
edgy
that
in a
was your fucking
situation.
example.
The
Do you want
point
to walk it
is,
back?
the
Do you
point
want to
is,
walk back your
no. The
example because it
point
was
is
bad?
that
You didn't
edginess is
call him
not bad,
retarded, and
and the
if you
which
had called him retarded, he would have nuked you. You said, "When is Trump going to call you retarded, and are you going to get ahead of it?" Which was
cool,
fucking
whatever.
funny
Yes,
and true.
great.
It
So the
fucking
point is,
matters.
you
What
can't
the
draw
fuck
the
am I
line.
talking
I
about
can't
here?
draw the line.
This
You
isn't
have
a
examples you
post
don't
hoc
like. Kyla,
rationalization.
please let me finish. You can't draw the line. I can't draw the line. I'm not going to spend energy wasting time worrying about what the line is when I
On
don't
the
want to spend
largest political streamer? Are we
the
fucking
largest
stupid?
you think on Asmongold, you think that something I
Asmongold,
could say
yeah.
differently would make Asmongold start converting his audience to Democrats? You think something
No,
that Steven or I could
think in
do?
the case of
What are we to
Steven,
do?
there are things that he could do to warm up and pressure Asmongold.
You know what's so delusional about Erudite is that she really thinks that Asmongold making like $1 to $2 million off of ad revenue alone is like she is able to dissuade Asmongold and take a business risk from that. Like that is insane to me, okay? Asmongold right now is earning $1 to $2 million a month alone from ad revenue, okay? Possibly even 3 million. It is delusional. It is absolute delusion, okay? Especially on a business perspective, that you think you can dissuade someone from changing enough of their mind to change a little bit on stream. I'm sorry, okay? Asmongold realizes that he has a fucking money making machine right now, okay? There's no shot, absolutely no shot he'll ever move off from that right now, okay? Not while he's making this much money.
And gold by being warm, by
not
having
like
some level of
okay,
pushback
but
that's still
million.
like
It's still at least a
toned
million,
and
okay?
whatnot, that would pressure Asmongold, who is mostly just audience
This is
captured, to
delusion.
have
It's
Steven on. I do think that that would have been possible.
It's
And getting
delusion.
on those shows, which by the way, because of Steven's fucking comment, he's gonna get nuked from most Republican shows because they are soy hypocrites. But also, now you can't talk to any of these people, which is fucking ineffective, which is my entire argument. It's fucking
Ollie's
stupid.
back right now,
And if
actually.
you want to do it,
Ollie's right here.
if you want to do it because you are mad and exhausted with conservatives, you can fucking do it, but don't talk to me about being effective. I think absolutely, Stephen, there are things, you're a smart guy,
Was
that
this
you could have
effective or
done
moral
to
again,
talk
or which
to
one are we
Tectone.
bouncing between? I keep forgetting because we keep
We
changing
have
from whether
already
it's
said
moral
from the
or
very,
effective.
you're being bad faith, and you know that you're
Well,
being
there are
bad faith,
there are
because
two
you know that I've already
elements.
summarized the position that there are two elements to this, which is that our moral principles are downstream for political effectiveness. But I am talking right now more exclusively about our political effectiveness, and this is not a crazy take to make.
I'm not saying
In
it's a
the
crazy
case
thing. I'm
of
just saying that
Asmongold,
we bounce back and forth with these two things. There
there's
was-
nothing you could have done. There's nothing you could have done to make
talk to
Tectone
Asmongold?
connect with you.
For Tectone, maybe, but probably not. Not now that he's part of the
Calm
new.
the fuck on.
Now that he's part of the Texas, sharpshooter group. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Probably not.
Why? Is that, do you think that's
Because those
you
people
nuked
are
a
all
relationship
fucking
with donut
deranged. Because
operator?
those people all fucking hate me too. What do you
No,
mean?
it's because you nuked a relationship with donut operator, which is why he won't talk to you because he's
Because
now
I
friends
made a
and lives in the
fucking
same city.
because I made a joke and he decided he hated me over the fucking joke. Started lying about our real life interactions.
Yes.
Why would I try so fucking hard to appeal to these people? If you want to do it, then knock yourself out. This is
I'm not saying
humiliating.
you have to appeal to them and you have to go to them and you have
Yes,
to
you
grovel.
are. You're
But
saying,
for
like,
example, you could go to donut operator in private DMs, for example, be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. You could, there's probably things and steps you could have taken to mend that bridge and have us so
Sure, wait,
casual
one
that
question.
relationship
Sure,
didn't get nuked.
sure, one question. Can you give me a single example in the past 10 years where a single Republican, either a lawmaker, president, alternative media influencer, or anybody online has ever done this ever? One example ever.
I don't give none.
that's
I
exactly.
don't want
Okay.
to be Republicans.
Okay.
Wait, what the fuck are we even talking about?
Wait,
How
no,
the
wait.
fuck are
Now
we
you
gonna
just
say?
said. Now you just said. No, you just said. I don't want to be Republicans.
How the
So
fuck
is it
are you
about
going to
political
say
effectiveness,
that
or is
we
it
are
about the
more
morality?
morally
Because
correct,
Republicans
we
have
are
both
more
houses of Congress.
morally
They have
upright,
3
that we are
vote lead in the
smarter,
Supreme
and
Court,
that we
and
know
they have the
better,
presidency.
but
So what do you
also
want to do? Do
we
you want to
have
be the
to
morally
play the
superior party? Do you want to be the one that's
exact
actually winning
same
elections?
fucking Really?
Hold on.
Really?
Destiny,
We
you're
have
not
to play
being-
the
you're not
exact
being
same
entirely
game,
fair.
and yet somehow
one said exact
we're
same game.
still losing. That's what you're advocating for.
I didn't
You're saying
advocate
that
for
we
the exact
should-
same game. Hold
Yeah,
on, wait.
you're
So
saying,
all
look at all
Republicans do
these
is make
awful
mean jokes.
things
That's
that
all they're
they
doing.
do.
They make mean jokes. That's the exact same game. It's making mean jokes. Is that what I'm saying? Is that what you
No.
believe anything? Okay, so nobody said play the exact same game. So I don't know why you're saying play
And
the
why the
exact
fuck
same
you're
game.
listing all of the great evils and sins of Republicans to me? Do you think that I disagree with these things?
No, I'm asking you. You're saying that this is such a politically effective strategy is to mend bridges and try
Yeah,
hard to
go
keep
here.
relationships with people on the left. I'm asking if there's a single example of a Republican who
Wait, do you guys hear an echo like from my AirPods to my to my thing? Yeah. Let me know.
who's winning everything electorally, ever doing this ever. One example.
In the case of building bridges, yeah, absolutely.
Who?
Winning electorally?
Wait, no,
I
who,
would say
who
like,
reached out to
No.
who to build a bridge and mend debris? When did this ever happen?
let me think.
Today,
What?
Thomas Massey, he's doing a bipartisan bill specifically on the Epstein shit, and he basically went hat in hand to Democrats.
Didn't Ro Khanna
Massey
draft
is
that
on
bill?
his way. Massey is getting eviscerated and ejected from the Republican Party because he's turning into a never-Trumper. That's the example?
Good. Good. And to be clear, I'm making a moral argument.
Then why?
Erudite's making an effective argument.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh
In the
my
case
God.
of which Republicans have done this, I
after
suspect that there's
College,
actually a
College,
lot. My
College.
understanding of the Republican network
By the way, you know what the most moral thing is? The most moral thing is to maximize your electoral winning chances. Okay, that is the most moral thing. If Counterpoint's morality is only based off of whether or not it makes him feel good, then I accept, okay? I think he's retarded. No one should ever listen to him ever again, okay? However, what I care about is whether or not people are being deported or not to El Salvador without any kind of due process, okay? It is fucked up. It is fucked up beyond measure, okay? So, yeah, you know what? I think that, you know what? I'm so glad that Counterpoints is so privileged enough to be white, male, and Christian privileged enough to not have to worry about any of that. I'm so glad that he doesn't have to be concerned with any of that. I'm just so happy for him. All right, good for you, dude. Good for you for winning the lottery of life, okay?
Here's the thing. Tulsi Gabbard is a great example of somebody that they were absolutely willing to build a bridge with, despite her being a long-term Democrat, because she was willing to toe certain lines.
She was no, Kyla.
Yes.
She had a history of very right-wing policy, and she flipped.
Bro, the only reason why privilege talk is fucking cringe is because people don't do it correctly, okay? There is absolutely a right way to talk about privilege. I actually do think that, yes, Counterpoint's fucking, like, position here, like, makes him completely less sympathetic towards all the issues that he talks about. Yes, I do actually think so.
All of it before getting pulled over to the Trump. And that's why everyone was saying, you're going to be a Fox News pundit in 3 years, because they knew she was already a Republican.
Hold on, no, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. They're like,
exactly.
if I keep calling you conservative over and over and over again, if I keep calling you,
she was making conservative policies.
Every single content creator who says I left the left, they've embraced.
I'm conservative. That's what they're going to do.
Every single person who has said I'm leaving the left has been embraced.
Yeah, because they're youthful idiots, and Prager says
it doesn't matter. You stupid fuck. They're winning. It doesn't fucking matter. We won't even let these people onto our side. What we're going to do
is
instead.
You said it doesn't matter they're winning, but then you said morals are important. Which one is it? You can't keep going between both arguments. What is it? Is the only thing that matters how to win?
It doesn't matter
or
because they are winning. I'm saying that the build bridging fucking worked for them.
They didn't build the bridge. He jumped ship.
They did. Every single person who wants to move towards the left, they embraced warmly.
What part of the Republican platform changed to embrace Tulsi Gabbard?
Nothing. They just
then
embraced
they didn't build
her,
the
and
bridge.
Hold on. They don't need
to.
You're missing the point.
What are you talking about?
They don't need
what
to
are
use
you
policies.
What do you think building a bridge is?
Wait, when the fuck have I ever said that by building the bridge, Republicans are going to suddenly shift their policy?
That's what building a bridge means. Building a bridge is another way of saying meet in the middle. If somebody jumps ships and goes completely to another party, that's not building a bridge.
What word would you like me to use for saying not meeting in the middle, but instead welcomes them to their side and are willing to talk to them kindly? And when I say kind, I don't mean nice. Willing to listen to them. Willing to respectfully disagree.
You could just match energy. You could just match energy. And I think
if you came out and started supporting 70% of the Democratic platform, I would accept you, but you don't.
Hold on.
She already does.
Hold on. Stop, please.
Point.
We're not talking. Look,
then why is she going to vote for a Democrat?
You guys are talking about policies, and we're not talking about policies. We're talking about how we treat each other interpersonally and how we act on an interpersonal.
Oh my god, dude, this is so soy. No one cares about that. Oh my god, dude. Dude, oh, guys, just be nice. Yeah, like, dude, it's a little bit too late for that, actually. It's a little bit too late for civility politics. Like, things are literally happening right now. Like we have people, dude, I think the real question is, should we take up arms to defend immigrants? That's the real question, right? Not this like, oh, should we be nice verbally, right? It's should we use the Second Amendment to protect ourselves against the government right now? I think that is the real question to ask. Yes.
Level, and that's going to be far more
So
powerful
stupid.
than any policy you might have. Tolly did want to say something, so I'm going to give the mic to Tolly. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
But conversations can evolve too. You must be a fucking awful panel host to not recognize that conversations can evolve, and you should capitalize on the correct conversations, right? Like, fuck. Listen, I was probably a better panel host than Wick, okay? Back when I still did, like, panel hosting. Yes, I did panel host.
it's okay. It's like getting lost in all of this here, but I'll just pick up on what you just said. Yeah, it is the way you treat people. And again, it's about who you're trying to communicate to when you're communicating in that way. And so you can match people's energy. If someone is obviously a freak, if someone obviously is mocking death on their own side, then sure, you can do what you're doing to that. You're going to turn off some people, right? You do have to question, is that, do you want?
No, I once hosted a panel show called Food for Thought. Yeah.
Want to become the other side. I mean, everyone I think was rightfully horrified when all of the people on the right were making jokes about that trans kid who jumped off the bridge, right? And now,
wait, just to be clear, you're wrong. You're just totally fucking retarded if you believe that. Who is horrified?
People on the left. People in this conversation.
People with conscience.
My bad. Hold on. I rescind that. I thought you said people on the right were horrified because nobody on the right gave a fuck about that.
Well, she said everyone.
Oh, they weren't.
Bullshit.
I rescind my retarded comment. Go ahead.
Bullshit.
Okay, when I said everyone, I'm
still here.
about like-minded people here. Yeah.
My bad.
Okay, yeah, bullshit. There are people who have consciences, who are normal, who are not online all the time, who see somebody mocking someone who committed suicide, and they do care and they do find it
Alligator,
you thinking that everybody is some dissident right-wing
is Alligator
psychotic
Alcatraz in the
is
bullshit right now?
bullshit.
Alligator Alcatraz, where the joke is if
think
they
those
swim
are
away,
helpful
they'll
or
get eaten
hurt
by
them?
alligators.
Those people also hold on,
Do
but
you
those
want me to
people
go? Hold
also
on. Do you want me to go
don't
talk to my
like that.
conservative parents and ask
No,
them if they find that
hold
shit
on,
fucking
hold on.
repulsive?
Yeah, wait. People don't like that stuff either. And this goes back to what Kyla was saying earlier. It's like you would have to prove that people were voting, that the disaffected liberals, that the people who held their nose were somehow voting for Trump because they liked the cruelty. The cruelty is the point for some people, not for the people that Kyla and
That's not, no, but it's also about like who doesn't mind the cruelty, right? Maybe you can argue that like, oh yeah, for most people, cruelty is not the point, but clearly they don't care about it, right? Why don't they care about it? It's because the cruelty point Overton window has shifted so much in the favor of the right, right? Somehow like all of the like 500 comments coming from Trump and all of these other places wasn't enough to, I don't know, like change minds. I don't fucking know, dude. Like was it enough to change a moderate's mind to not vote for Trump? Why did they still vote for him anyway, right? It's probably because they were doing something right in terms of the cruelty. The cruelty isn't just there for the cruelty is the point. The cruelty is also there to make you not feel like a human being anymore. That's the point of cruelty as well. Maybe cruelty, the real cruelty is apathy, not cruelty itself in of itself. It isn't about the cruelty of edgy comments. It's about the cruelty of apathy. That's what it is.
Connor are talking about reaching and being open to and just treating like reasonable humans.
But
They
the
are
point is
different
that.
people.
But the point is that Connor, are your parents there right now, Connor?
No, they're in South Florida.
Okay. Don't wander into the
Okay,
Stop trying to talk to my mom, you fucking whore.
Alcatraz places.
Stop trying to talk to my
While you
mom,
pause,
you
The
fucking
problem is
whore.
that here's the issue. Okay, this is what I was going to demonstrate if Connor's parents were here. Because Connor's saying, oh, well, you want to ask my parents what they think about it? And here's what I would do. I would go, what do you guys think about it? And I'm sure Connor's parents go, oh, I think that's really mean. And he would say, look at that, I owned you. And then I go, oh, just curious, do you regret your vote for Trump? And they'd go, no, I would still vote for him again. I'm going to vote for him for a third term. Fucking MAGA. Amen, hell yeah. And then the problem is that what you can do is you can be cruel for the people that like the cruelty, but it doesn't turn off the other voters who don't give a fuck about it. So what the fuck?
Because it's not happening in a vacuum.
Stop. I want to talk. This isn't hypothetical, okay? So what ended up happening was both of my parents, they lived in the Pacific Northwest for a few years, and they got exposed to a bunch of liberals and Democrats or whatever. And as a result, they kind of moderated in a lot of their perspectives. And so my dad got into a bunch of contrarian podcast stuff. And so as a result, he did vote for Trump in the last election. But my mother, who's been a hardcore pro-life fucking Republican forever, got so repulsed with what the Republican Party has become that she did not fucking vote in the presidential ticket.
Well, yeah, it's called an anecdote, Connor. Connor, this is called an anecdote. That's what it's called, okay? Screen froze? Yeah, it happens often when I'm playing Path of Exile, okay? But like, in case Connor doesn't know what the fuck what an anecdote is, it means that you're using one example, aka your specific familial example, in order to paint the entire argument without appealing to the statistics. By doing so, you are making a point that should be null and void, right?
Which, by the way, people can accuse her of being a fucking traitor for that because she didn't vote fucking Republican. I don't think that she voted for Kamala, but she didn't fucking vote for Trump. So acting like those people don't exist, you're losing those people when you conduct yourself this way.
Those people don't matter. Didn't Florida vote more for Trump this election than the last one?
Shit, moderates matter. Fuck you.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. I wanted to go with the fucking vote numbers when we could just have your mom as an example. I got to use that legitimately, by the way.
No.
What's the point? Yeah, maybe your mom got turned off by the rhetoric, but didn't more people...
numbers. How much of people are independent or moderates who vote in general elections? How often are elections swung by moderates and independents? By the way,
don't bring up Al Gore. He doesn't want to think about it. He doesn't want to think about it.
Shut up. Everybody shut up. I'm not done. Everybody keeps saying that the Republicans have been sweeping for a decade, but you omit the fucking fact that Donald Trump fucking lost. You can blame it on COVID. You can blame it on economics. He still fucking lost in 2020. So don't tell me that it's been a 10-year Republican sweep. It hasn't been.
I don't think anyone made that comment
Okay,
specifically.
I'm gonna.
Kyla,
you said it multiple times.
No, I need to hold. No,
I
stop.
Wait,
I need
Kyla,
to hold Steven because
Kyla,
he keeps on. He keeps on.
Like
Can I ask
Kyla,
you one
go then.
question while he's
Kyla
looking up
then
the
Soy.
independent
Kyla
numbers?
then Soy. Kyla
No.
then Soy.
Okay, I just want to be super clear. I don't know why you need to do this, Stephen, because if you're right, you can just engage with what I'm actually saying and not a new version of what I'm saying. I'm not waffling
Stephen.
back and forth between effectiveness and morality. I've said from the very beginning that it is pluralistic, right? You can have principles having principles is effective because shared principles is part of how you collectivize, and holding yourself to those principles or failing to do so matters to the
What
group.
are the principles,
and Epstein,
though?
Yeah, but
Epstein is a
what are
good
the principles,
example.
though?
Principles.
Are the
Stop talking
principles
about
not
kids
being? Are
jerking
the
off.
principles not being mean to people or not bullying people?
No,
No, stop
that's not
talking
the
about kids
principles that I'm
jerking off.
asking for.
Then what
That's not
principles
what
are
I've
we
ever
asking
said.
for?
What the?
Stop talking
sorry.
about kids jerking off.
I have said it at
Kids
this
and
point
death is a good
so
line.
many times. I don't even understand how you're
Then just
possibly
answer
still
it again. You could have answered
characterizing.
it at the time they're going to say that. Is the principle not doing
I don't care.
scorched
I don't
earth?
care. I'm gonna grandstand at you too because you're being fucking bad faith, and I don't understand why you need to do this.
No,
if my
Kyla,
argument is so
we
bad,
really
you don't need to
understand what you're arguing.
mischaracterize
I
it.
think
Shut the
so.
fuck up. You don't need to mischaracterize it.
Why the fuck does Connor talk so much and bring up the fact that of kids jerking off so much, huh? You know, sometimes an edgy joke is just an edgy joke, but the amount of times that Connor brings it up makes me incredibly sus. Okay, listen, I'm
Because
just saying.
being mean is bad. Also, the argument Trump is mean, so being mean effective is fucking stupid.
Okay,
right?
Connor,
Because
summarize Kyla's point, and let's see if Connor can summarize it. What does Kyla
I
mean
think
when she's saying
kindness
when we say
is effective.
Oh
the
my
reason
God, okay.
I want you to be kind is because I think it's good
And what is our-
I think it
Wait,
works.
and what
so
is
we
our
can
evidence?
be kind,
What
but
is
we
our
can be
evidence?
mean,
Even
but, like,
Steven,
kindness,
if you
kindness
build and maintain
What is the evidence of
relationships
kindness
that
being
you
an
can
effective
leverage
political
at
strategy?
being
The
kind,
evidence
it
is
would be more
2018,
effective.
2020,
Kind.
2022.
You don't need to be kind. You need to
Love
be. You
Trump's
need to
hate,
be
guys,
Good. You don't
2016.
need to be right, but you should be good faith to people who are.
So, Dev, if you're here, why aren't you talking? Dev? 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 Dev?
Good
Dev?
faith to you. You don't
Kind
need to
doesn't
be
mean
kind.
nice.
You don't need
Sorry,
to be kissing
whatever
people's
fucking
ass.
word you guys
Sure,
want to
yeah.
use. I didn't say don't be mean. When I'm saying kind, I'm mean to people all the fucking time. I'm also not saying don't be be perfect. I'm also failing my own standard regularly. So just to be clear, I'm not
Just trying to
talking from a
advertise,
fucking
I know.
pulpit.
What is
what
kind?
I am
If
talking
kind
about is
doesn't have anything to do with being mean. What is kind? What do we say when you say being kind?
kind. When I say kind, what I mean
I'm
is like a
shaming
more
him.
broader thing of understanding them as a person, trying to get into their worldview and engaging in good faith, actually engaging with what they're talking to, and at your best, which by the way, you, Stephen, at your
So
best,
I'm
is
not
when
an
you
elected
steel man-
politician.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. When you steel man your opposition, you understand what they are saying.
Yes,
you
and if
give
you
them
want to
the
build a
best version of
YouTube
their
channel, you
argument,
could do
and
that. We're
then
talking
you dismantle
politics
it.
right now. When did the Republicans ever do this? One example.
What? I'm sorry. What the fuck are we talking about? Do you not think that YouTube channels and YouTube debates have
I'm
any
asking,
effect on
what do
politics?
we think? I'm saying, of all of the Republicans, what Republican channel emulates this idea that you're talking about the most?
I've already
Well,
said
it's not
that.
Republicans,
Constantine
but
Kissin.
it is seen. It's the center right that, especially leading up to the election,
that
was
Dev just
seen
then?
as the open-minded space.
Yes,
an area
Joe
where
Rogan's
yes, you could have
were seen as
reasonable
open-minded.
conversation.
They would have
Yes,
anybody on.
Oh, they
Theoretically,
would have anybody on when he started hosting conservative after conservative after conspiracy theories. When he would dodge
Yep,
people,
he
didn't
sure
we have,
got sucked
didn't we
in by
have-
audience
didn't
capture.
we literally
I
have
wonder
a guy?
why.
Didn't
I
we?
wonder why people like being conservative more than left. I wonder why the fuck that is.
True.
That's my whole
remember
issue.
when
People
Flint,
love so
when
mean.
the Flint Dibble guy went on and he was so mean and so aggressive and so horrible, and then Joe Rogan re-brought on the other Stephen Graham or whatever the fuck guy or Graham Hancock or whatever
Yeah.
who roasted the fuck out of Flint when he literally is dying
Yeah.
of cancer. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
that's the guy we need to appeal
That
to.
was
Holy
really
shit,
bad.
we
Joe
should have been.
Rogan
No,
is
that was
not
so
as
bad.
neutral
And
as
Joe
he
Rogan,
pretends to be.
and then his Spotify deal
Kyla-
got canceled. He
Think
lost all of
about
his
Brett
money. All
Weinstein.
the
Think
Republicans
about
all
Brett
lost their
Weinstein.
elections. Like, oh my God.
Kyla, do you think it would be more effective to be edgy and authentic in front of Joe Rogan, or to be like, oh, Joe, you're so nice and we're not going to be mean to you and we want to accept you into our party? Like, what do you think appeals to
Gee,
him
it
more?
feels-
All
it
the
feels like- it
comedians
feels
that go
like-
on to do
You don't
edgy
need to-
questions
you don't
are
need
the
to be
ones-
You're
insincere.
hold on.
Michael,
You're strawmanning-
if
hold
this
on,
is
hold on.
genuinely-
You're strawmanning Kyla because she's obviously pro being edgy and being real.
But yeah, so she
was
keeps
on the-
saying
she
that,
was
and then
on
but
the
then she
vote
can't
of
point to a thing, and then
Republicans
saying
they
kindness is really
recharged
What the
important,
fuck
except
are we
for when
even
it's
talking
not.
about, Soy Pill? I've pointed to multiple things. I've talked about his nuking of Tectone's relationship. I talked about the way that you talk to Tally. I have given
No,
you
we're
very
asking for
specific
examples of
examples.
Republicans
The
being nice.
reason
Talk to
you
me,
guys
Kyla.
need to strawman me is because
No,
the
we're asking
reality is
about
that I am
Republicans
not
being nice.
incorrect. If
We're asking
if
about
it was
Republicans
the
being
case
nice.
that the left was so cozy and it was so fun to hang out with, then maybe we would win against
Fun
a
to hang
fucking
out with,
We're
rapist.
asking about
But
the
we
Republicans
didn't.
being
We
nice.
I just
didn't,
have a
did we?
housekeeping
And it's
question.
not because of edgy
We're asking about
jokes.
examples for the
In
Republicans
part-
being nice. When are the Republicans nice? When are they being nice to people?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying any of this shit.
Well,
Then
It's
why
not
should they be
effective
nice?
because
What's
Rogan-
the political effective
Hold
strategy
on, no,
there?
no.
Yeah,
Destiny's
sure.
question.
Hello.
I'll answer Destiny's question. On an
This is so
interpersonal
stupid.
level, Republicans have been on balance, nicer to me than Democrats have.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, you're not a
Same.
Republican.
Hey, guys,
I'm not working
I gotta
on
go,
it.
so
know,
I just
because I'm
wanted
not
to-
retarded, right? And I believe
Did
in
you vote
actual
Republican?
principles and things like that. But
Connor.
unfortunately, not everyone is like Wick. And there are a
Asking
lot of
somebody
people
who's
who are
principled
much more retarded
doesn't
than
change their
Wick is.
principles because somebody was
Let him
mean
get
to
in.
them. Sorry.
Why are you
I have
talking
to
to
leave,
Natalie by
so
saying
I
her
want to make.
principles
Can I make a
change?
kind of a closing statement and then
counterpoints,
dip
you gotta
out?
go. So we're gonna give your spiel and tell people where they can find you. I know
Okay.
this is run long, but it's good content.
It's okay. I gotta.
Let's save this, okay? Let's save this.